A child actor who was signed by Walt Disney himself, Kurt Russell emerged from a string of children's films and a stint as a minor league baseball player. He became a major box office draw, described by the New York Times as sexy enough to attract women, vulnerable enough to be unthreatening to men, and bankable enough to appeal to studios.
Wow.
His past 6 films have averaged $60 million at the box office. Pretty good. His latest deal is the long-awaited sequel to 1981's Escape from New York. It is called Escape from Los Angeles, or Escape from L.A., and I am pleased to have him here back on this program. Welcome.
Thank you. Nice to be here. That's quite an introduction.
It is quite an introduction, isn't it? Now, let's just talk about this film, because I have a lot of other things I want to talk about. One is that you wanted to do this sequel, and you guys have both, you and Carpenter, have sort of, it's been in the back of your mind since.
Exactly. John and I love working together. We hadn't worked together for 10 years, and I really missed that. I really missed also the feeling of playing that character. I'm a fan of the first movie. I like that Escape from New York world, and I think of all the characters I played, I probably really, when I think about it, enjoyed playing Snake the most.
You like Snake?
I like him a lot. John and I share that.
I give you the interview of Snake Plissken. In 1996, Kurt was promoting Escape from L.A., which is a great movie. I don't care what anybody says. So with that in mind, he went on PBS's Charlie Rose for this great sit-down interview. Now, Kurt, he's one charming fellow. He got the smile. He's serious. He's hilarious. He's just a great, great person to interview on TV. So, without further ado, Kurt Russell, Snake Plissken, whatever you want to call him, on Charlie Rose.
What is it about Snake that you like? Integrity, sort of?
Well, no, I just think that it's fun to go through life like Snake. I think that a lot of people have said, now, is this an alter ego of yours and John's? And it's actually true. Yeah, John and I share this character. It's fun to play that character for John and in front of John and with John. It's like going on vacation either by yourself or with your wife. It's more fun to go with your wife because you can share it at the time. I wouldn't want to play Snake outside of John's presence. It wouldn't be fun for me because we get a kick out of the way he thinks, and everything he says and does comes from our head. So it's just fun to play with him.
Why do you think it was the first one, Escape from New York, became a cult film?
Well, it's a very dark film with very dark humor that took a long time for people to realize they could also laugh at it. It takes, these kinds of movies, if they're done, I think, rightly, whether they're done well or not, you need to see them more than once to see what it's saying and what it's asking you to think about and what it's asking you to laugh at and take seriously and look, how should you look at yourself, and it includes you in the future. And I think Snake Plissken is something that everybody can tap into. He is incorruptible because he desires nothing. He doesn't care about you or me. He doesn't care about anything, and yet he has, as John says, a psychopathic instinct to survive. He desperately wants to survive, and there's I think, for me anyway, when I'm playing him, a sense of pathos. I don't know. That'd be my feeling.
There was this thing in Escape from New York. What, he had 24 hours to live, was it?
Yes, he had 24 hours. Yeah. Actually 22 because they cheated him out.
Yeah, right. And here he has 10 hours to live.
Right.
Because he's been implanted with a virus.
Right.
So he's got to go in and he's got to rescue.
He's got to get it. Yeah, he's got to get the device back.
Yeah.
And the president's daughter basically has run away. She's a teenage runaway who's taken this device to the head gang lord.
And she's in fact what? I mean, who?
A.J. Langer plays her.
And what kind of character is she?
Her name's Utopia, and she is. Her name has been given to her because that is the vision that her father has for the future of the United States. He's a man who had a vision of an earthquake in Los Angeles, and it happened when he was a presidential candidate, and because it came to pass, he became the president for life of the United States.
This is Cliff Roberts.
This is Cliff Robertson, right. And so he's taken his concept of what the United States should be, and is running with the ball.
And who is Peter Fonda?
Peter Fonda plays the first character that Snake runs into when he gets to the island of Los Angeles, and his character's name is Pipeline. He's a surfer who just wants to surf the big ones and waits around for the earthquakes that happen and send in the tsunamis. And so we thought it was fun that Captain America would be the first guy that Snake would.
Well, Captain America ought to be.
Right. Should be the first guy
exactly.
Snake sees.
Exactly.
Deal.
All right, roll tape. Escape from Los Angeles. Here it is.
Man, this is going to be some kind of ride. some kind of right. Let's go, come on. Bitch, you bad. Okay. Let the front edge pick you up. Don't get on your board till you ride to the top. Don't blow it. If you fall off the board, it's the big white hat. Got it? Woo! Hang on, Snake. Ow!
Big chin.
Later.
Well, you said later man.
Later,
Yeah.
man.
And you did that with two of you.
That's
two doubles.
Yeah, conglomerate of things going on there. There's Peter and I are on boards. There's two surfers that actually are working a man-made wave. There's some digital work there, some green screen. That was the toughest scene in the movie.
And this is the same patch that you used in Escape from New York?
Yes, it was one of the tougher things to do, was to get that patch down to the right size. It cuts your vision off, I'll tell you.
It also cuts off some equilibrium.
Yeah, it takes about 3 or 4 days to get used to it.
Get used to it.
I'd forgotten that, as a matter of fact. That was the one thing I really forgot about. And when I got into some of the action stuff, I remembered and I said, oh man, this is my vision's not as good as it was then either, so it's that much worse.
And it also gives you headaches.
For the first 3 days it does, and then after that you start to get used to it. There's a basketball sequence that I have to shoot 5 baskets in a matter of a period of time, and that was the hardest thing to do because you got to get used to shooting with that perception.
How long did it take you to make the film?
70 nights. We scheduled for 70 nights.
70 nights?
Yeah, and we shot 70
All
nights.
Shot at night?
All nights.
Why is that? Because that's the only time you have access to L.A.?
Well, no, the movie takes place
all
within a short period of time, and it's all night. And so it's all one night.
You went to Europe to promote Stargate or something, right?
Right.
And all of a sudden you began to ask people? You said, what about Snake? And people responded?
I mean, over the years, people have talked to me. I mean, I walk up to people on the street all the time and say, I thought you were dead, right? And, you know, that's, but when so many people do it, you know, there's a lot of
they said in Escape from New York.
Escape from New York, that was the through line.
Thought you were dead, man.
And over the years, you do pictures, you go do the promotional tours for them, and you go to Europe, which I've done a lot over the years, and every time they would always mention that character in that picture.
And that line.
And that line.
Yeah.
And so it never went away. John and I, at different times, talked about possibly maybe doing another thing with Snake. And so finally in '94, this is now 14 years later, I came back from Europe and I said, John, they just won't let up on this. And Los Angeles had been going through all of its natural disasters within about a 16-month period, and it was becoming clearly defined as a city of violence and a city that was experiencing natural catastrophe after natural catastrophe, and it was a great place to escape from, great place to put Snake into an adventure. And so we sat down and we said, let's go after this right now. Let's write the script first, and let's go there with the actor, the director, the producers, the writers, and the screenplay, and say, here it is, are you interested?
And there are people who don't want to leave L.A.
L.A., the difference between L.A. and New York was difficult because when we started talking about this, we wanted to tap into the similar feeling that the picture had about New York. But in order to do that, you have to find the Los Angeles equivalent. New York in 1980, a lot of New Yorkers felt, was a prison. So it was a natural extension. Los Angeles is not a prison. Los Angeles, I think the closest thing to it that I could think of was that it was like Hotel California. You know, you could check out anytime you want, but you can never leave. Why is that? And I sort of got to thinking about that, and I was always fascinated as a child about Pompeii. I never could figure out why those people didn't leave. They knew that volcano was going off. Why didn't they go away? Goldie and I and the kids were in Europe and Rome, and I said, hey, we're close to Pompeii. I want to go down there and see that. And we went down there and we saw it, and I saw that there's actually some very, very beautiful homes there. And you see the people in statues, or, you know, covered in ash and stuff, and then you see the walls on some of the homes. And up the walls, near the ceilings, the artwork, that pornographic artwork. Yeah. And you look at it and you say, I see why they didn't leave. There was a big party going on here. They were having fun. And I realized that Los Angelinos are modern-day Pompeians. We live in denial because we keep looking up at that volcano and we say, It ain't going to go off today. And if it does, I can outrun it. Or I won't be here. I'll be in Rome when that goes off.
Or it's got to get better or
yeah,
something.
only for 22,000 people, it didn't happen. Well, we are people in Los Angeles, I think, who completely, obviously live in denial because otherwise you wouldn't be there. And someday, we're going to get caught.
You have a lot of homes around everywhere, right? One in Canada,
I do.
and one in Colorado, and one in Los Angeles, and where else?
We've kind of amassed them.
Couple?
Yeah, no, well, yeah. we are a little home heavy, but we do spend a lot of time in all of them.
Well,
I don't feel bad about it.
But do you like being in the country? Do you like being away
Yes.
from the Hollywood thing?
I like living in the country, period. I enjoy cities for a period of time. I think there's a lot about Los Angeles that's fun. It was an interesting movie in the regard John Carpenter loves Los Angeles. He loves
And he's
LA.
a Kentucky guy.
And I'm not in love with LA. I like it. It's okay. It's got stuff to it. But it's a lifestyle that I feel much more comfortable in Colorado, for instance. I just do. It's just I grew up in Maine as a young boy. We moved to Los Angeles. Los Angeles has its elements that I think are fun to take part in, but I must say I don't enjoy going out the front door as much as I do in Colorado every day.
When did you become bankable?
It just depends on what size of bankability you're talking about. If you wanted to do a picture 10 years ago for $15 million, I was bankable.
Yeah.
If you wanted to do a picture for $75 million, I wasn't as bankable as
Arnold
or something like that. If you want to do a picture today, as far as Paramount's concerned, for $50 million, I'm bankable. If you want to do a picture for $66 million, as far as Mario Casar was concerned, I was bankable. It fluctuates, it varies, you know, and so does your career, and so does your, you know, whatever your popularity or your availability.
You know, it's pretty interesting him saying that because in the past he has talked about how he doubted his bankability because some of the films he did not do that great at the theaters, but did tremendous business on VHS sales and rentals. In fact, he has said if it wasn't for VHS, he probably would have not had the career that he did.
But you see, you know, in that regard, Hollywood, or I think the United States, is just waking up to what Hollywood has been aware of for quite a while, and what some actors have been aware of for quite a while. And it's not a half-season deal. It's not like saying that, well, the Dodgers are leading the season halfway through the year. When we talk about grosses here, we refer to, you did it here when you talk about $60 million. Those are domestic grosses.
Sure.
That's half the game.
Yeah.
The full game is the world. And there's only one market. There's a world market now.
And the people who do the best are Schwarzenegger and Stallone and people who are in action-adventure because that's the genre that appeals the most to the world.
Well, action does translate easier than comedy. It translates easier than some dramas. I think the things that translate the best, and where I think I've had great fortune, is pictures that combine the two. They try to be about something and make and entertain you with movement, with action, with activity. And those characters tend to translate worldwide.
Backdraft, did that do well internationally?
That was huge.
Huge.
Yeah, it was really big. Yeah,
Yes.
over 200, well over $200.
Yeah. What else? Stargate did
Tango
about
and Cash
150, didn't it?
Tango and Cash was really big.
Tango and big time internationally?
Big. Yeah, really big. Did okay here. Did like
But
65, 70
you and
million here, but it
Stallone
did over
and
200
Michelle
million
Pfeiffer, wasn't it? Is it?
I was just Sly myself.
Oh, you just the two of you.
But the picture that you're referring to there is Tequila Sunrise. That did well.
Tequila, that's right.
No, the pictures that I've done for the most part in the last 10 years have been pictures that did play on a worldwide market as opposed to just a domestic market.
And if you would go to the studio and say, I got a script I love, and it's a small love story. Goldie and I will do it together. Chances are they'll make it. Because it's obviously not going to cost much to make.
It depends on.
Well, no,
there
it's
you
not
go.
true.
There you go. It depends on. It depends
10
on
million
what it
for
is.
you and 10 million for her,
No, that's
and
never.
that's 20
See,
already.
that's a mistake that should never be made. You should never outprice yourself in this business. Every negotiation, I believe, should be individual, flat out. What can you make a picture for? What's the audience? You have to, as an actor, I think you should at least have some modicum of intelligence and say, what does this picture deserve in terms of an audience worldwide? If this picture looks like it might be a smallish audience, then you should go in with understanding that you shouldn't be asking for $10 or $15 million with a picture that looks like it might make a grand total of $45 million. It's just not worth anybody to take. It's not worth the risk. But if you have people in the movie that are people who the audience recognizes, and they're in roles that you think, that the filmmakers think, the audience or the studio thinks that the audience is going to say, hey, you know what, that sounds good. I like that guy in that kind of a thing. I like her in that kind of a thing. Then you've maybe got something that's going, and I don't believe audiences care one hoot about how much a movie costs. I don't think they care about how much people make. I think they care about what they sit there and watch.
How much they enjoy it.
How much they enjoy it. I don't care if it's made for 50 cents or $50 billion. It just doesn't matter. They want to sit there like I want to sit there and say, that's cool.
So if somebody wants you in a movie, you look at terms of well, what's this movie going to gross, and what's the what are the economic dimensions of the movie, and how much bad do I want to do it, and if I want to do a movie that does not have the potential to do huge, then I've got to be willing to.
There's two scales. There's two scales, it seems to me, when actors go to work. Number one, you should only go to work when you want to do something. So money should not play a part in that. However, life has a funny way of rearing its ugly head, and you say,
houses, you got to do something.
Yeah, I'd like to have that G5.
You got that G5 out there.
And so you look at the script, and it's just, you read the script, and it's just really not very good.
Hanger.
Okay, so on the scale of 1 to 10, it's a 2.
Yeah.
And they're willing to pay you on a scale of 1 to 10, 10. So there's that line, and in the middle, it intersects with this area that is going to determine where you go to work. If it's not high enough on this middle scale, you're not gonna go to work. You're just gonna say, you know what, it's just too lousy, and it doesn't make any difference. But sometimes they don't want you. You'd like to do it. You love the script. It's a 10. They want you at a 2 level, and there it goes again, and you say, it's too low. And a lot of times you end up doing, you know, there's a lot of reasons that movies aren't made with certain actors, and I think that actors go to work when they're gonna pay you enough for you because you want to do the show.
Yeah. You co-wrote. You're one of the 3 writers of Escape from L.A. Right?
Yep.
Do you write anything else?
In the last 10 years I've worked on as a writer on almost every picture I've done. I mean, I've worked
terms
closely.
Of the dialogue of your own character, or overall the script?
Overall the movie. I don't care who gets credit for what. It doesn't matter. What matters is the audience sitting there.
Watching. And
I like to put myself in that position, and I say, can I help this scene? Can I help this movie? If you have to detract from your character to do that, fine. If you have to enhance your character, fine. If you've got to enhance somebody else's character, if you've got an idea, if the craft serviceman has an idea that's going to help the movie, he should voice that opinion. There should always be a captain of the ship. That's the director. It's a director's medium. This film is a director's medium. There's no doubt about it. But I do believe that it's best to work with people who are open and secure enough to listen to concepts and ideas that are coming from people who are concerned about the movie, not about their character, not about their career, but about the movie, just the project. It's just like when you were 9 years old and you're in your backyard and you had a pool, you know, a little round doughboy pool, and you put a plank across it, and you've got Little John, and I'll be Robin Hood. No, I want to be Robin. No, I want to be Robin Hood. But, you know, and you go and you talk, and you get together and you say, well, you know what would be cool is if you take that stick. Well, I got a better stick. Yeah, that is a better. No, it's not a better stick. You talk it out. There's got to be somebody there who says, that's the stick. You're Robin Hood. You're so-and-so. Don't step on him. You know, this is the way it looks best. But everybody should be involved.
Do you want to do that, be a director?
No, because my involvement as an actor with the directors that I've worked with, I've been fortunate in that they've included me in trying to help them direct their vision of the movie. When you work with somebody like John Carpenter, his vision is precise. It's easy to collaborate with someone whose vision is so precise, because you know what they want. Now I know what track we're headed down, and I know how to see that.
You know how to maximize your participation in that track because you've got the vision.
Yeah, and I'm lazy, and so that's the way I'd rather do that than spend a year and a half and making a hell of a lot less money, you know, directing a movie.
Goldie has directed, hasn't she?
Goldie, no.
She never has.
Goldie's thinking about directing now, and I think she may soon. You know, that's not to say that I mean, you know, and I spent in my career in 37 years, there's nothing in this business now that I haven't done. I mean, I've directed a lot, I've written a lot, I've acted a lot, I've produced a lot. As I said, taking credit for whatever you do is not what it's about. I think there's a lot There's a lot of that in Hollywood, and I think it's kind of shameful. What's important is not who gets credit for what. It's that the audience sat there and said, got my money's worth, man. That was cool.
Yeah, that was good. It's great to have you here.
Thank you very much.
Kurt Russell, Escape from L.A. Thanks again.
Okay.
We'll be right back. Stay with us.
There's been a lot said about why Escape from L.A. did not do that great. I kind of think maybe they waited too long. I mean, I could not collect the film on video disc because in 1996, video disc was a deleted format, but I had New York on video disc, so that helps. Yeah, I think maybe they waited just a little too long. Now, the movie overall, I find very good. The only thing I thought was a bit much was the surfing scene. I mean, he never surfed a second of his life, and suddenly he could take that wave. No. Everything else in that movie has a hint of believability in it, but him surfing a wave like that, never surfed at all, that was over the line. But like I said, I think it was a great movie. I have no real problems with it. I just think maybe they waited too long and the competition was perhaps a little too great. But that's just my opinion. I'm sure you have your own. If you like Kurt Russell stuff, then stay tuned to my channel because I might have some more coming in the future. So like this video and subscribe to my channel because you never ever know what I have in my archives here that will be next. So thank you for watching. See you later.